Hello, everyone, and welcome to one of my guided meditations. This is my first meditation that will be recorded and put onto the internet and made available to the public for free. My name is Matthew, or Katari, or Moses, or whatever, I don't really care. I am trained in Karo shamanism, which is the shamanism tradition of the indigenous Peruvians. I am trained by Donzi and Kerfman, who learned from people such as, or learned in the same generation as people such as Don Alberto Vialdo, who brought the tradition to America and Americanized it. So if you have ever heard of Karo shamanism or Quechua, that might be where you've heard it. And to begin, what I like to do is um, open the space for the nature spirits. And before we start, I am going to ask everyone to ensure that they have an object of comfort, be it like a stuffed animal, a protective talisman, a religious item, because we are going to be going deep into many layers of trauma, and it could help to have something there to get you through some of the tough emotions. So I'm going to take a couple minutes and await everyone to return. So now that you have your comforting item nearby, find yourself in a comfortable position, either seated or lying down, however you feel most comfortable. And I want you to imagine in front of you a space where you can give all offerings to your nature spirits, your guides, your angels, whoever you look to for protection and guidance. We will honor in this space, be it imaginary or real, in front of us. And to begin, imagine directing your attention to the bottom of your altar space. And we are going to chant to Pachamama, which means Earth Mother. Pachamama. Feeling the love and stability of the Earth Mother seep in through the root of your spine and the soles of your feet, filling you with a loving red energy. Pachamama. Letting this energy flow into your heart and out your hands as we chant Pachamama one final time, bringing the Earth Mother into our presence. Pachamama. And now feeling wrapped like a blanket of the earth. Find stillness in your body. And now to the west, we will chant Mama Kia for Mother Water. This time imagining a silver energy entering the nape of your neck, filling your heart and going out your hands into the west of your altar space. Mama Kia. Feeling the waves of the ocean crash against you and your heart, creating disquiet in your emotions for just a moment, allowing you to feel the disheveled rhythm of the nature of your emotions. Mama Kia. Mama Kia. like a cool rain that washes over you, the ocean settles and leaves a stillness in your heart. Not only your heart, but your emotions, becoming still and at peace with yourself and who you are and who you've been and who you're going to be. And know that they are all one and the same being. And now aim your hands to the north of your altar space as we chant Wyra for the wind, the sacred and dangerous wind, the element of the mind. The element we go to for clarity. We now bring the wind into our space as we chant Wyra, seeing the energy enter your throat, a white or a silver as well, in your heart, out your hands. Wyra. Feeling the wind shift around you, creating discomfort in your mind, knowing that there is no peace in your mind at rest until we put our intention into stillness, not just rest. Wyra. Wyra. And now feeling the winds come to a rest, but still feel their presence on your skin, the wind dancing on your skin even though the air is not moving around you. Know that you are being cradled by the wind, and your mind feels this cradling and becomes still. If there are any errant thoughts, allow them to come, honor their presence, but give them no attention, for it is not the time for the mind. It is the time for the heart. And now we go into the east and worship Father Sun, Inti Taita, who gives warmth to us, to our earth, who gives warmth in our hearts, and who we honor every time we open our hearts to the love of mankind and what Pachamama has given us. This time imagining a golden energy into your heart, out your hands. Feeling your heart glow ever brighter, knowing that you almost cannot stand this glowing, and feel the discomfort, feel the pain, feel the sorrow, all the emotions that you no longer feel because you are afraid. Feel them in this moment, but do not let them overtake you, because in the rays of the sun you are safe with your heart. And the burn settles to a cool glow. Your heart comes to a stillness, joining your mind, your emotions, and your body. And you feel at one. In this plane, this three-dimensional plane, you feel the oneness in stillness. And now we move to the center of our mesa space, our altar space, as we honor Koichi, who is the rainbow and the hummingbird. Koichi is how we get into the garden of the creator, Vyrakocha, where all co-creation is possible. With Koichi, we co-create, we do not create, and that is where the true blessing of humanity lies. This time imagining a silver cord entering from both your feet and your crown, radiating into your stomach, and it combines in your stomach and slowly leaves your navel into the center of your space, creating a cord, an umbilicus to the earth, connecting you as a mother once did to you back to her. Feeling the rainbow move through you. Whatever the rainbow means, let it radiate in your body. And even though your entire physical and even though your physical, mental, and emotional existence is at a stillness, you feel the rainbow pulsate through your body and annihilate any heaviness you feel as it travels down the umbilicus into the earth, deep, 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 feeding this hoocha, this delicious chocolate to Pachamama, giving her an offering of your love, of your heaviness, of your heart. Give it to her and know that she is grateful, and all that you give, you gain in return. For that is the principle of Aini, reciprocity. And you feel your awareness drop into the strand of energy, this umbilicus, and you place your awareness at the exit of your navel, watching the energy flow deep into the earth, feeling no fear, because with the rainbow, you live in joy and harmony, and nothing can harm you in joy and harmony if you are still. With every beat of the rattle, you fall deeper and deeper into a relaxed state, focusing on nothing but the sensation of the energy moving in and around you and through you, and the stillness of your heart, your mind, your body, your emotions, and now joining your spirit. And now imagine you are standing at the precipice of a cliff of a mountain, and know that this precipice stands at your navel, and you see, and you feel, and you fear what lies below you. And if at any moment you need comfort, grab your support totem. That is what they are there for. And now you look down and see a tangled web, a mass of dark, gooey mess in an endless expanse of fear and sorrow and suffering. And you know in your heart, deep down in there, is a lost child who calls out to you. Can you hear them? Can you hear this child? You may not, but in a few moments, you will be reunited, and you will be healed, if that is your will. And now, you notice that this stream of energy is now slowly moving you away from your navel. Your awareness now travels down the umbilicus deep, 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 deep into the earth. And as my rattle slows, so do your thoughts, your feelings, your desires, your wants, your needs. If they had any import before, they have none now, because you are a being of power, and now you are descending deep, deep, deep into the most powerful place we have. Not only is it just our lower world, but the lower world we create to cope with trauma. And you must know that as you descend deep, 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 as far as the strand goes, when you finally find yourself on your feet, in your lower world, you are safe because you are loved by your heart, by your guardians, by your soul, and by Vyrakocha. Vyrakocha. You see the Creator, Vyrakocha. For the garden of the Creator not only exists in the upper world, but in the lower world as well. For we are all God. We are all Source. We are all Spirit. It is all the same. You see Vyrakocha in front of you. And seeing this radiant figure, any fear that you once had is now dissolved instantly. And it permeates out your body and into your lower world, becoming enmeshed with the rest of your pain and torment that you have endured and not acknowledged. And you step close to Vyrakocha, and there may be no words, but you feel the beauty and grace of your Creator, and you feel at peace. And you look around, and there's a bit of cognitive dissonance. How can I be at peace in a place that is in such torment and turmoil? And you know that it is not unlike the lies we tell ourselves every day. We are hurting all the time, but we just never acknowledge it. And now, you start to lift off the ground just 3 to 6 inches. And you follow Vyrakocha. Vyrakocha is taking you somewhere. And as you go back, almost as if you're going back in time, you see the pains you have endured. But there is no sorrow, only love. As you scroll by each iteration of your trauma, of your longing, of your fear, of your desolation, you give all the love you hold in your heart. You let your sun, your Inti Taita, shine brightly onto these moments, giving them the love they never had. And you know you are healing them. And now, you slowly descend to the ground. And you start to feel fear. A very real fear. But surrounded by the light of the Creator, you cannot be harmed. You can only feel. Behind the Creator lies your wounded inner child. You may hear crying. You may feel incredibly intense emotions. And these are the emotions that you have not been feeling, that have been born by this child, this small creature who gleefully and willingly took this burden for you. But you are here to alleviate this burden and transmute this wounded child into a beautiful healer, into a free spirit of love and creation. You start to see the creator evaporate in front of you into thin air, melding with the pain and torment around you. The creator's love and light, imbuing itself with your darkest fears and deepest traumas and most egregious pains. And the light remains. You, the last standing beacon of light. In your fear, your pain, your torment, you are all that is left between your trauma and complete and utter desolation. But you stand tall with the wisdom of age and love. Love that this child now in front of you may not have ever known. And the child stops what it's doing and looks at you. And as you look into each other's eyes, you connect in a way that you never thought possible between two people, let alone an emotional construct in yourself. And you share your emotions. There's no words, there's no need for words. And you feel these emotions. And you feel them. You feel them so deeply. And you hurt. You hurt. You're hurting. But then a serpent rises from the ground. The Amaru. And the Amaru opens its mouth and swallows your entire lower world into its gaping maw, encompassing you and the child into its greedy stomach. And as you imagine what your lower world must look like now, you feel the energy around you being digested. This is Pachamama in the form of the Amaru. Her digestive fluids are now dissolving all of your pain, your fear, your torment, all the things you've buried away because you have been afraid. They no longer harm you. They are turning now into gorgeous, beautiful Sami. Light, light, light. The heaviness is no more. There's only light. And then, in your mind's eye, you see something in the sky. It is a condor. And you feel fear. Because what is the condor going to do? You are now safe in this serpent. What is the condor going to do? Are you safe? And this fear is unrelegated by anything you have ever felt. This is true animal fear. Are you going to survive? And the condor swoops down and grasps the Amaru in its powerful talons. And takes you into the sky, you and the serpent and your child. Up. Up. Then possibly high. And now your fear turns to glee and joy as you see the most beautiful rainbow in colors you never knew existed, radiating from this tiny point in the sky. And you hear, ever so faintly, 1,000 beats per minute, the tiny wings of Koichi. You now know where you stand. You are no longer in the lower world of your fear, but you stand at the gates of the garden of the Creator. If you have one question to ask God, now would be a good time to think of it. In the hummingbird, pierces the serpent and swallows you whole. This tiny being now encompasses you as it beats its tiny wings through the clouds, piercing into the garden of Vyrakocha. And you see that same figure standing in front of you in a garden with one singular flower that is not ready to bloom yet. And the hummingbird comes to a rest on top of this bud, and you transform from the hummingbird back into your form with your child in front of you or next to you. And now, look your Creator in the eyes and ask them the one question or few questions you've always wanted to know the answer to, and you trust this answer completely. And now, having exchanged some thoughtful words, the tip of the bud of the flower that you are on opens just enough for you to gently float down, and you are now surrounded by the singular flower of the garden of the Creator. And you look in front of you, and you look at your child, and they say, "It's time. You don't need me anymore. Set me free." And you look at them in the eye, and you say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I've done. I'm sorry for ignoring you. I'm sorry for not even knowing you existed." And you look at them and say, "Forgive me." For all I've done, for all I've done in arrogance, all I've done in coping, forgive me. And then you get down on one knee and say, "Thank you for everything. Thank you for bearing my burden. And thank you for being there for me when I needed you but didn't know. Thank you for sacrificing your life so I could live mine." And then you share an embrace and you say, "I love you." And with that, you feel them dissolve into thin air, being absorbed by the flower as fuel. I know that one day you will return to this garden, and you will see not only one flower, but you will see dozens. Each flower, a testament of your beauty and commitment to yourself and your love for yourself. And you look up, and you see the sun start to shine. The flower that you are in is now blooming, and you are surrounded by this amazing emotion you have never felt before of just pure bliss, ecstasy, pure love for yourself. It surrounds you, it envelops you, it lifts you off the ground. Now sit here a moment and experience what being is like in freedom. And you turn your head to look at the Creator one last time for this session, for this beautiful moment of stillness. And you know it is time to go. You see to your right a puma, a great jungle cat here to lead you back down the mountain, through the clouds, back to your home. The puma walks up to you, stalking almost as if they are debating whether to strike. But you feel comfort because you know confidence and power, unbeknownst by fear and sorrow. And the puma scoops you up on its back, and you slowly start to descend through the clouds, finding a staircase that you never thought should have existed. Slowly descending, descending down, 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 down. And even though you are descending, you are rising, for part of you still existed in your lower world, sharing the light and love you were experiencing in this garden with the darkness of your soul. But no more. No more, you scream. I am free. I am free. I am free. And you say this with absolute conviction because you know it is true. You know in your heart that you are now free from this sorrow, this pain, if even of just this trauma. And you feel your body start to dance. You feel victorious. As you slowly descend and ascend simultaneously, you descend from the garden, you ascend from your lower world, meeting in your heart, and you take one moment to check in with just yourself. What do you feel in your body? Not out. Remember this feeling. This feeling. This feeling is something no one will ever take away from you. And you start to fill your body with your beautiful light. The light you have now gained from the garden and you have shared with your lower world, with your pain, your suffering, your sorrow, your sadness. Knowing that you still have these things, for they are necessary to be alive. It is so important to know the good with the bad, but to honor the bad for what it's worth and not let it hang over your head and manifest into a scared child. Taking a deep breath in, feeling the life return to your body, into this earth plane, this three-dimensional plane, forgetting not your experiences, but leaving them behind. For the time in that experience has passed, but know that it is always with you. And you breathe, 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 filling your lungs fill with this gorgeous, beautiful air that you have come to love on this plane of earth. And you stay surrounded in this beautiful warmth of the nature spirits. And know that Koichi has touched earth. Koichi and Vyrakocha have both touched your heart. And you feel them pulsating. Both of their unique vibrations pulsating in your heart. And know that their energy is limitless. As long as you come from a place of joy and love, you have a boundless supply of energy. And now you know in your mind, in your heart, in your emotions, your body, and your soul, that this time of beauty and grace has come to a close. Although the energy has passed, know that it never subsides. And make a conscious effort, a conscious choice to remain in alignment with yourself and your love. Aho.